I just heard a report on NPR about how the Trump campaign has refused to sign the memorandums of understanding for the transition to the White House, for the potential transition to the White House, which you might hope means, oh, he didn't sign the paperwork in time, so he can't possibly take the White House. It should mean that. That'd be great. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any actual protective measures to prevent somebody or make somebody sign the memorandums. They're supposed to do this before they get any security briefings and all this other stuff so that you'd think there would be some incentive to sign them, but they're refusing to sign them. Now, what does it mean that they're refusing to sign them? Well, one, they can take unlimited money. If they sign the memorandums, then they have to disclose all their donors, and it's $5,000 cap, and the donors have to be, not foreign governments. Although now they can take money from foreign governments, unlimited money from foreign governments without having to disclose it, just because they don't sign this memorandum. And again, there's no authority, there's no um, oversight, there's no way of forcing them to sign it or say, well, you can't be president then because you can't sign it. I guess, I mean, maybe they should make that, or let everybody know that's what we will be doing. So it's only because of his own, not neglect, it's obviously a plan. Everything Trump does is a plan by Putin. So he's trying to exploit this weakness in our system that there's no other oversight of transition funds than this memorandum. And they have to make an ethics code of ethics, which they haven't submitted, or they've apparently maybe submitted one that's not any good, that hasn't been accepted. But they're refusing to sign it. So it seems like they're just not playing by the rules, and to the extent that they're saying their plan must be, if they don't win, it doesn't matter. So hopefully, let's make it not matter anyway. But also, their plan is that if they do somehow win the election, then the current administration, Biden administration, saying, well, you didn't sign these memorandums, they'll say, well, you're the ones not allowing a transition of power, and just kind of, they called it a game of chicken, like basically just try to break the rules and just keep breaking the rules until they take power. All of this should indicate what type of people they are, for one thing, but the fact that part of the scheme is to take unlimited money from a foreign government, Russia, whoever, um, should be assigned to us or further proof to us what Trump is and what the threat he poses and why we need to stop him. Um, and why we should at least insist that this just isn't allowed. You don't play by the rules, you won't get the security clearances. That's another thing, is that usually the FBI would do the security clearances for his oncoming administration. They want to change that, or at least people are telling Trump to change it so that they can not get their own private lawyer firms to do the security clearances. It's all blatantly an invasion of our country by foreign powers, and we need to stop it. Like, Biden should have the authority, based on what I just told you, to stop him right now because of what he's obviously doing. But who's going to use that authority unless we demand that they use it? I don't know. So hopefully you can look into this as well, or help share some of this information. The other thing about not having a code of ethics is, why can't they have a code of ethics? They get to write their own code of ethics, but they just can't have one. They're not allowing themselves, they're not playing by that rule either. But the unlimited money, the fact that the transition team's unlimited money is one of the places that there's just no oversight, is of concern, and reason we need to fix all these gaps and loopholes that Putin is exploiting. Apparently, the first Trump transition team was headed by Chris Christie until he won the election, when it's hard to win to make money, and then he fired Chris Christie, saying that he was taking his money, raising money in his name that he needed to use on other things, namely the transition, and he hired somebody else to do it, and that resulted in not vetting people right the first time around, all sorts of things. But it seems like it's not mistakes, it's a plan, which you can see they're over the master over all of it is Putin. The plan is to infest our government, get people who shouldn't be allowed into our government, and then to get this information, to get the information for Putin, and to funnel all this money into Trump, because they get to raise money for the transition team. They get to raise this kind of money and spend it on whatever. There's, again, no oversight on what they spend it on. They get to raise all this kind of money the way they want, because there's nothing to stop them other than they didn't sign these things. So we need to do something about that. Thanks.